Throughout history, lots of excellent martial artists have appeared on screens. So we made our second part of the series about the best martial arts film actors. Which actor ordered suites in American hotels and turned down a role in The Matrix? Who broke ties with the mafia thanks to his mother? And who was saved by teaching? Whose sports records are questionable? And who trained FBI agents? We'll tell you about all this and more right now.
May I present to you
Real Fighters in Movies, Part 2. Jet Li, the next Bruce Lee.
I don't need to know you. You only need to know me.
Beijinger Li Lianji, known to the whole world as Jet Li, began studying martial arts completely by accident. He grew up in poverty because his father, the breadwinner of the family, died early. To avoid causing trouble for his mother, the boy tried to be a diligent child. In school, he was the teacher's favorite and even helped teach PE class. At 8, after finishing first grade, he went to a sports camp with other students where they were randomly sent to different courses. Lianji got the Wushu course, where the boy showcased his talents, so the coach strongly recommended he continue his training. From that moment on, Wushu training became a daily routine for him. In 1972, the boy participated in the national championship and received the title of Best Master, so he was excused from regular school classes. Thus, the 11-year-old practically lived in the gym, working on his skills. Thanks to his hard work, he joined the Chinese national Wushu team, won several national championships, and traveled to an international tournament in the US. That trip made a big impression on the young athlete. There, the guys were intimidated by the thoughts of their rooms being bugged and watched. Li, trying to check for bugs, loudly announced that he wanted chocolate, ice cream, and fruit. Shortly after, all the requested items appeared in the room. But most importantly, the teenager realized that Americans were friendly and didn't look like enemies, so his worldview began to change. Then, Li returned to China and continued to win Wushu tournaments, earning the right to perform in front of foreign delegations and travel abroad. At one of the tournaments, he was noticed by representatives of the film industry who offered to make him a screen star, the next Bruce Lee. The athlete agreed, especially since he had a knee injury hindering his sports career. His very first role in the film Shaolin Temple brought him fame. Following its success, 2 sequels were made, after which Jet Li received his nickname Jet. Since then, Jet Li has regularly starred in successful film series such as Once Upon a Time in China and The Legend of Fong Sai-yu. You might say that in the film Fist of Legend, he actually almost became the next Bruce Lee, as the plot was very similar to Fist of Fury. In 1998, Jet debuted in Hollywood playing the bad guy in the blockbuster Lethal Weapon 4. He was well received overseas, so Lee added more movies to his filmography: Romeo Must Die, Kiss of the Dragon, Hero, Fearless, and others. In the 2008 film The Forbidden Kingdom, Jet worked with Jackie Chan, and in 2010, he accepted Sylvester Stallone's offer to star in The Expendables action films. Lee was also offered roles in The Matrix and Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, but he turned them down because his wife was pregnant at the time. Jet promised he would stay by her side until the day of birth and kept his word. He has 2 daughters with Hong Kong actress Nina Lee Kai, Jane and Jada, born in 2000 and 2002, respectively. He and Nina got married in 1999, and 10 years before that, Lee had been married to athlete Huyang Chuyan. They both competed in the national Wushu team and had 2 daughters, but their marriage lasted only 3 years. In 2004, the media shocked everyone with the news of Jet Li's death in the Maldives during a tsunami. However, later, it turned out that he had merely injured his leg while rescuing his daughters and their nanny from the hotel. After this experience, the actor founded the One Foundation charity in China, helping victims of natural disasters and others in need. This organization stands out for its idea of involving in charity as many people as possible, even with small donations. Their slogan is "One person plus $1 plus 1 month equals one big family." The celebrity enjoys meditation and likes to play badminton and table tennis. Also, he collects rare Tibetan beads. He seldom stars in films, explaining that he is busy with charity projects. However, for several years, he also had problems with his thyroid. Lee says he is ready to die. Being a devout Buddhist, he lives in the present and appreciates every moment. He is now 61 years old, and hopefully he has many more years ahead, inspiring more people to engage in martial arts, charity, and simply becoming the best version of themselves. The scandalous Donnie Yen.
好嘅功夫係唔會分男女老幼嘅，睇人嘅啫。
Like Jet Li, Donnie Yen adopted his Western name when he began his film career, although his parents had named him Jidan. The boy was born in the southern Chinese city of Guangzhou, also known as Canton. He grew up in a musical family and was taught to play the piano. However, when they decided to move to Hong Kong, his mother got interested in martial arts and even tried to open her own school. She made this dream come true only in the USA when the Yen family moved to a suburb of Boston. Thus, thanks to his mother, Yen mastered wushu. He watched kung fu movies to add more techniques to his collection, later practicing them at training sessions. However, in the 1980s, he went astray and became a regular at illegal no-holds-barred fights. There, he met some members of the Chinese mafia who took him under their wing. No one knows where this could have led if Yen's mother had not sent her son to Beijing to keep him out of trouble. In China, the young man joined the national wushu team, and 2 years later in Hong Kong, he met director Yuan Wu-ping. Donnie impressed him and other crew members of the comedy action film Drunken Tai Chi, so he got the leading role. The film was released in 1984. However, Yen did not like the filming process. He was annoyed by the director, who explained almost nothing and yelled if he didn't like something. Nevertheless, the movie marked the start of their long-term collaboration, including the Tiger Cage series. Then, Donnie began working with other directors, and his role in the action film Once Upon a Time in China 2 with Jet Li made him a true Hong Kong star. After that, Yen took part in several TV series, tried his hand at directing, and in 2000 appeared in his first American project, Highlander Endgame. He then starred in the films Blade 2, Hero with Jet Li, and Shanghai Nights. On set, he would always give his all. For example, while working on the action film SPL Chapolang, he had to see doctors every 2 days to recover. He has a seamy side too. The actor often quarrels with film crew, does not mince his words, and resists authorities. He even managed to quarrel with the son of Bruce Lee's legendary teacher, Yip Man, while starring in the eponymous franchise. Also, Donnie doesn't mind going to court if he doesn't like what someone says about him. With the money he received from one legal case, he even founded the Yen's Honor Protection Fund to give celebrities the opportunity to defend themselves against defamation. Yen is still actively starring in movies, often in the USA, but mostly he moves between mainland China and Hong Kong. His wife, former beauty queen Sissy Wong, helps him with his affairs. She is 20 years younger, but despite the age difference, they have a lot in common. Both grew up in the West and the East, both in musical families, and both have similar tastes and views. They have 2 children. Also, Donnie has a son from his first marriage. By the way, together with Sissy, they founded another charity organization, an online platform called Go Asia, encouraging people to help local communities. Yen calls himself a Chinese patriot and has been featured in propaganda films of the Communist Party, for which he is criticized in Hong Kong. He says that it is important for him to positively represent his fellow citizens in Hollywood. Also, he called the 2019 to 2020 protests in Hong Kong a riot. Donnie has mastered various martial arts styles, but due to a recurring shoulder injury, he can no longer participate in real fights. As a big fan of mixed martial arts, he would like to compete in the octagon. The American Dream of Michael J. White.
That if they get the notion to with me.
This action movie hero achieved the American dream. He was born in a poor neighborhood in Brooklyn and raised by a single mother. From an early age, the boy witnessed criminal confrontations, but action movies were his solace. At first, he had no money for sports classes, so he trained at home with milk bottles filled with water. Additionally, his friends practiced jiu-jitsu and taught him a few techniques. As he got older, Michael was able to take karate lessons and by the age of 13, earned his first black belt. Over time, he added 7 more belts in different styles to his collection. He received his last belt in 2013. At the age of 14, Michael began living independently, and at 15, he became a father. He got involved in crime and could have continued down that path, but received a sports scholarship and enrolled in a college to become a teacher. At that time, he joined a theater club but mostly participated in martial arts competitions. After graduation, he worked in his field and was even listed among the best teachers. Eventually, acting captivated him, so he started attending auditions. While working at school, he landed his first roles in theater, commercials, obscure films, and TV series. In general, Michael J. White's filmography consists of ambiguous roles in mediocre films and B-action movies, but he has also had some successful parts. For example, he played the lead role in the TV movie Tyson, became the first African-American superhero in Spawn, and appeared in the neo-noir action film The Dark Knight in 2008. He even worked with Tarantino on Kill Bill, but the scene featuring him was cut. Michael not only showcased his martial arts skills on screen, but also trained other actors. He tried his hand at directing, screenwriting, and producing as well, although this wasn't very successful. Thanks to taking part in Asian action movies, the actor speaks a bit of Japanese and Chinese. Michael White is married to actress Jillian Waters, who took the surname White after their wedding. This is his second marriage, but in fact, they have known each other since their youth and dated in the 1990s, but parted ways and remained friends. However, at some point, Michael confessed his romantic feelings to her, thinking he was dying from an allergy to painkillers. They married in 2005 in Thailand, and the ceremony was conducted by another martial arts master, Tony Jaa. The couple has 5 children, but none of them are biological children of both of them. Michael jokes that he always takes some time to remember the number of his offspring. White is a very versatile fighter. In 2015, he was inducted into the International Sports Hall of Fame. He has never participated in professional sports, although he has had conflicts with fighters. For example, mixed martial artist Mike Perry challenged Michael to a fight. Who do you think would win? Scott Adkins, not a butcher.
I am the most complete fighter in the world. My whole life I've trained.
This guy with a daring look and incredible martial arts skills was born and raised in England, in a small town near Birmingham. Several generations of his family worked as butchers, but Scott showed no interest in the family business from a young age. Instead, he was very much into sports. He was an active child and engaged in various activities until his father sent him to a judo club when he was 10. So that's how Adkins began his journey in martial arts. After being robbed on the street at 13 years old, his interest grew even more. As a teenager, he studied several styles and was inspired by his on-screen heroes, Jackie Chan, Bruce Lee, and others. Then, Scott got interested in acting and started attending drama classes, although they were more challenging for him than martial arts. He struggled with shyness but persisted and went to auditions. By the late 90s, he broke into the TV industry and received an invitation from the Hong Kong Stuntman Association to star in the film The Accidental Spy. Then, he was featured in films like Special Forces, Unleashed, and Undisputed 2: Last Man Standing, where Scott played the prison kingpin Yuri Boyka and the main opponent of Michael J. White's character. On screen, White and Adkins portrayed fierce rivals, but off-camera, they became good friends. Michael even trained Scott in boxing, one of the few combat sports Adkins had not yet mastered at the time. Despite that he played the main villain, the audience loved him so much that he was invited back for the sequels and became the leading character. Scott also appeared in Doctor Strange and John Wick Chapter 4. Moreover, he often works as a stuntman for Hollywood stars. His most famous work as a stunt performer was in X-Men Origins Wolverine, where he shared a role with Ryan Reynolds. Every time Deadpool does a flip, it's Adkins. Also, it was he who fought Wolverine and Sabretooth simultaneously. Scott is also a fight choreographer, screenwriter, and film producer. At home, he is a loving husband and father, and a romantic. He proposed to his future wife on a yacht in Istanbul while watching the Sunset Sea view. He protects his family from paparazzi and still lives in Birmingham. Benny the Jet Orquides. This American had no option but to get into martial arts since his mother was a wrestler and his father was a boxer. At 5, he started competing at children's boxing and wrestling tournaments, and at 7, he began mastering martial arts. At 14 years old, Benny earned his first black belt, which was quite an unusual achievement for the 1960s. By the way, his brother and sister also got their black belts. At tournaments, he earned a reputation as a spectacular fighter, including international competitions, earning the right to join the American team. When he transitioned to professional sports, he fought under various kickboxing organizations for several years, recording an impressive 58 wins and no losses. This record is officially considered unbeaten, though controversial. Some say there was a fight that Benny did not win. He also took part in professional wrestling and mixed karate and kickboxing tournaments in Japan. At that time, Urquidez even bestowed upon himself the honorary title of sensei, although he never took any tests in Japanese karate. Fans nicknamed him the Jet for his brutal leg kicks. Over time, Benny began to lose more often and compete less until he officially retired at 41. By then, he won 6 world championships and held 9 black belts in different martial arts. Even before his sports career ended, Urquidez started working as a coach and acting in martial arts films. For example, he was featured in Jackie Chan movies, Wheels on Meals and Dragons Forever. Today, he has dozens of films to his credit where his martial skills are showcased in some way. Benny says he got the most pleasure from movie fights with Sammo Hung, Jackie Chan, and Yuen Biao. As a coach, he trained Patrick Swayze for the film Roadhouse, James Woods for Digstown, and Jean-Claude Van Damme and Kylie Minogue for Street Fighter. John Cusack also took lessons from Urquidez in real life. In fact, Benny is the founder of Ukidokan Karate. In an interview, he admitted that there is room in his heart only for his mother, wife, and daughter. In recent years, he has not taken part in movies but continued training. He remains a sought-after professional in stunts and martial arts. Bodyguard Olivier Gruner. This fighter was born in Paris to a doctor and an engineer. At 11 years old, after watching Bruce Lee movies, he took an interest in martial arts. He was bullied in school, so martial arts were necessary for self-defense. Oliver studied karate, boxing, and kickboxing. At 18, Gruner joined the army, enlisting in the Marine unit. After completing his service, he focused on kickboxing. He trained every day and began to compete professionally. He became the national middleweight champion and later the world champion. At his peak, Olivier decided to leave sports and pursue acting. He creatively approached this. During the Cannes Festival, he plastered posters of himself everywhere and bought several billboards to attract the attention of film producers. His tactic proved successful. Gruner was invited to Los Angeles for screen tests, and in 1989, he landed a leading role in the action film Angel Town. His acting left much to be desired, but his fighting skills were impressive, so his film career continued. Olivier is particularly proud of the cyberpunk film Nemesis. The film features action, drama, and shootouts. To perform all the scenes, Gruner reached peak physical shape, reducing his body fat to 4%. He also appeared in TV series and produced films he starred in. Additionally, Olivier enjoyed contributing to the stories for his movies, so he co-wrote several screenplays. However, the Frenchman never relied solely on the film industry and engaged in entrepreneurial activities. For example, he released training videos, created a sportswear brand, worked as a personal trainer, and more. In fact, he also worked as a bodyguard, for instance, for singer Celine Dion. Celebrities sometimes prefer hiring a fellow star who understands how public life works, and Gruner not only has military training, but also his own bodyguard academy. Currently, Olivier lives in the USA and loves spending time outdoors. He enjoys hiking, climbing, skiing, surfing, scuba diving, and more. Being a perfectionist, he really practices everything he does in movies. Since 2015, Gruner has been a volunteer fireman and often volunteers for charity organizations. Self-defense master Jeff Speakman. Born and raised in Chicago, Jeff began his sports career with gymnastics and diving. In high school, he even set records, but the main thing he gained from those training sessions was discipline. Waiting for the bus at 5:30 a.m. every day develops it pretty well. In college, Jeff began practicing martial arts inspired by TV shows. He earned a black belt in Japanese Goju-ryu karate. After graduation, his master advised Speakman to move to California to continue mastering martial arts. Jeff followed his advice and began attending all possible master classes and auditions. Finally, after several minor roles, Speakman played the lead character in the film The Perfect Weapon. More action films followed, including Street Night, The Expert, Deadly Outbreak, and others. At the same time, Jeff began training others and became a certified defensive tactics instructor for the FBI, State Department, and other agencies. He was also inducted into the Black Belt Hall of Fame, the World Martial Arts Hall of Fame, and the Masters Hall of Fame. In 2013, Speakman was diagnosed with throat cancer, but has since fully recovered. He continues to practice martial arts and develop his self-defense teaching technique, not appearing in films for a long time. His last film was Striking Range in 2006. However, Jeff has the Champions Foundation, a non-profit organization teaching martial arts to underprivileged children in the USA, Bolivia, Mexico, Germany, and other countries. Grand Champion Karen Sheperd. Karen Sheperd was one of the first American women in the world of martial arts. She was attracted to martial arts by the beauty of the movements, and her gymnastics background helped her achieve success in the new field. She took part in national competitions and even won some. Sheperd was the first woman ever to win the U.S. Grand Championship over all male and female participants in 1980. Her victory caught the attention of journalists, landing her in news reports and national TV shows. She handles various weapons perfectly, especially the double broadsword and steel whip chains. Karen is inducted into the Black Belt Hall of Fame and has appeared on the covers of all major martial arts magazines and in hundreds of articles worldwide. Sheperd got into the film industry at the invitation of actor and martial artist Tadashi Yamashita. Karen went to Japan to play the lead role in the action movie The Shinobi Ninja, and then moved to Los Angeles to study acting. Next, she appeared in the film Cyborg 2 with Angelina Jolie. By the way, her role was initially written for a male actor, but her agent convinced the producer to give her a chance at the audition. She was also featured in Righting Wrongs with Cynthia Rothrock, America 3000, and the series Hercules: The Legendary Journeys. In the latter, she performed a fight scene that became one of the most striking in the series. The actress was particularly thrilled by the black lenses worn by her character. Karen dreamt of working with Bruce Lee, but didn't get the chance before his untimely death. However, she did meet another idol, Jackie Chan, when she was in Hong Kong. Sheperd worked as an editor for a martial arts magazine where she regularly wrote a column on motivation and training. She conducts workshops sharing her knowledge of training, film and stage fighting, and motivation. At the same time, Karen continues to develop her skills participating in martial arts tournaments, charity, and other events. Unsung hero Ilram Choi. The parents of this actor and stuntman came from Korea, but he was born and raised in the US. Since his father was a martial artist, Ilram began practicing Taekwondo as soon as he could walk. However, his training took place in a Korean community church as part of a youth program, which Choi genuinely hated. Influenced by video games, he learned to perform amazing stunts and even conceive new elements with jumps. Among film actors, his idols were Mark Dacascos and Jackie Chan. When he got access to video cameras, Ilram and his friends started making short films that combined comedy and fights. In high school, he continued to engage in the arts and earned a scholarship to the Savannah College of Art and Design. His specialization was video and digital arts. The guy would always include some elements of martial arts and acrobatic stunts in his school assignments. In his final year, he shot a short action film that won a college award. In 1997, right after graduation, Ilram moved to Dallas, where he worked as a visual effects artist. One of his projects even won a medal at the New York Festival. All these years, Choi dreamt of becoming a stuntman, and in the early 2000s, he finally decided to make it come true by moving to Los Angeles. Thanks to his diverse experience in producing, directing, cinematography, visual effects, and editing, he became quite popular in the industry. His first job was performing stunts on the TV series Charmed, and as of today, he has worked on over 90 projects. Some of the most popular are several Pirates of the Caribbean and Transformer films, as well as Avatar and Thor. In The Amazing Spider-Man, Ilram doubled for Andrew Garfield. As an actor with his own minor roles, he has also appeared in the TV movie Walker, Texas Ranger, Trial by Fire, Iron Man 3, and the action movie Undisputed 3: Redemption. In the latter film, Choi portrayed a North Korean fighter. Ilram is not a typical screen fighter. He often remains unrecognized, but this does not diminish his skills. On the contrary, he has grown to work as a stunt coordinator and fight choreographer, for example in Spider-Man: Homecoming. Lady Kung Fu Angela Mao. One of the most outstanding actresses skilled in martial arts, was born in Taiwan under the name Mao Fuqing. The daughter of a Peking opera star, she also began her career as an opera singer, but in the end, her childhood passion for martial arts prevailed. Mao trained in Korean Hapkido and other styles and took ballet lessons from a young age. When she was 17, she was discovered by action film director Huang Feng, who was looking for a young woman skilled in martial arts for the lead role in the film The Angry River. Thanks to her experience on the opera stage and her martial arts skills, Mao quickly became a highly sought-after actress and adopted her Western name Angela. She admitted that she simply made more money in the film industry, and following the Chinese tradition, she needed to support her family. Her filmography includes Lady Whirlwind and Enter the Dragon with Bruce Lee. Mao was often compared to this legendary actor and called his female version. However, Angela did not need to be compared to anyone else. She was a standalone star of her time. Once she shared, I just played myself. I am strong and I am powerful. And also, how famous was I? When I was a somebody, Jackie Chan was a nobody. Angela indeed worked with Jackie when he was just starting his own career and she was already a recognized master. Her career, though not long, was impressive. But after her first marriage fell apart, she tried her luck a second time and decided to focus on her family, so she left the film industry. With her second husband and son, Angela moved to New York. But in China, she had to leave behind a daughter from her first marriage. Her active personality did not allow her to stay at home, and over time, she opened several Chinese restaurants. Many years later, Mel revealed that her fans still recognized her and came to her restaurants just to meet her. However, fame was never as important to her as her family. So now, at 73, Angela happily takes care of her grandchildren. Which of the martial artists from this video impressed you the most? And who should we talk about next? Share in the comment section.